Greetings, mere mortals, and welcome back to Monster Month! If you didn't catch last week's episode, this year we're doing an autopsy on the Manimals! And today it's Warwolf! With a gruesome name like that, who knows what terrifying character we're about to see! So meet Warwolf? An ordinary-looking guy. Well, that's a bit of a letdown, to be honest. Well, I got to play the hand I'm dealt, I suppose. So, meet Warwolf. This figure was released in 2001 with all original body parts. Well, body parts from a 1994 prototype anyway. We went over this last week. And, yeah, it's a pretty normal-looking burly dude. Now, there is the mutation gimmick, and we'll get to that, but first impressions are kinda bland. Going into more detail, the dark blue parts on his legs and back have a texture that reminds me of Captain America due to the color, and the Shocker due to the sculpting. And you know, the color scheme is good. The black, dark blue, and purple do make him look menacing and intimidating. And it kinda reminds me of Scrap Iron. He's got the same articulation as iguanas due to the gimmick, though because he's so beefy, the arm movement is hampered. They can't fold all the way to the side of the body, so they're always in this position. This is one of those weird things that don't bother you until you notice them. It looks fine until you realize it has to look that way. Another problem is that the elbow joint is really obvious when you bend the arm. It's like an entire chunk of the elbow is missing, like a 90-degree corner sliced out. But if you don't bend the elbows, the figure looks even more stupid with the arms outstretched like that. So now, let's talk about the head. Why does this guy look human? I mean, sure, the face looks cartoony, sorta like what Bebop or Rocksteady would look like in human form. In fact, the entire figure looks like he could be in the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle line, but he still looks like a human. And, you know, he's an alien. Now look, I know that in sci-fi, aliens often looked human, mostly due to budget constraints, but even Star Trek managed to splash some green paint on an actress for effect. And this is a toy. They could have picked any color. And it's not like he's in disguise. He's still a lot taller and about twice as wide as a regular G.I.Joe figure. Unless he's trying to blend in as a professional wrestler, the skin tone isn't gonna help much. The weird thing is, the original 1994 prototype? Yeah, that guy had green skin. Made him pretty alien. So this choice baffles me. Why would you make your mutant alien less alien? Warwolf came with pretty generic space guns, and he looks stupid holding them because of the restricted arm movement and the fact his hands are molded into fists with small holes to accommodate the weapons. But now let's talk about the mutation action feature, the thing that makes him monstrous. Like with iguanas, you simply tilt his head back and a face pops out of his chest. By the way, the back of these figures don't disguise the hinges needed for the transformation. But here, it's much more distracting than with iguanas. In either case, it's just lazy design. The teeth are there, as are the movable lower jaw and tongue, though it looks more like a normal tongue than the one iguanas has. But there seems to be something missing. You know, wolves and mammals in general tend to have eyes in their heads. Warwolf does not. Now, you might say, but wait, he's an alien. He doesn't have to have eyes. And hey, Ghost Boy, you complained just a few moments ago about him looking not alien enough.
And yes, that is a good point that I would consider valid.
Except the frickin' card art for the figure clearly does have eyes. So this was incredible laziness in the sculpting. Do you know what wolves also tend to have? Fur. And the figure's torso and mutant head, well, that doesn't look at all like fur to me. If anything, it looks reptilian. So the only thing that tells you this guy should have wolf-like qualities is his name.
Hell, the mutant form mostly resembles a different character entirely.
Tell me that if you see this for the first time, you don't immediately think Venom. 'Cause that's what he looks like, Venom. Though not enough for Marvel to sue, I guess. Overall, the figure is okay looking, but the design looks very lazy and seems unfinished. What with the gaps in the sculpting and the lack of eyes in the mutation. And that was the only toy Warwolf ever got. Again, not counting the prototypes.
So with that, let's talk about the character.
And we'll once again start with the name, Warwolf. Yeah, it's a very weak pun on werewolf. Made worse because, as we've discussed, the figure looks nothing like a wolf. It also looks nothing like the card art. And they used the same art as was on the original 1994 figure. So they had 7 frickin' years to fix either the art or the figure.
This is like the 3rd time I get to call this thing lazy.
The lack of effort here is astounding. Anyway, Warwolf is, you guessed it, a goddamn bounty hunter. Like most of the other G.I.Joe aliens.
I should have made this a counting gag because that's, survey says, lazy.
Now, to be fair, he's not just a bounty hunter. He's also a mercenary and an alien arms dealer. I assume they mean weapons, but it would be nice to think they're actual arms. Maybe he sold iguanas his footwear. As far as his personality goes, after mutating into an evil monster, he will bite anything that moves.
Ha! That's actually interesting.
It implies the manimals weren't always mutants. The card also calls him a planet-stomping alien. I assume he stomps around on planets, not that he tries to stomp an entire planet. He's a bit small for that. Though I suppose that whenever you stomp the ground, you are technically stomping the planet you're on.
Think about that the next time you stamp your feet. You're kicking the Earth's ass.
Also, this guy will eat anything, including fallen meteors, and he once barfed up the tail section of a Cobra helicopter. Hey, the card does place them in the G.I.Joe universe here. Also, this is probably the only time a file card refers to a character puking.
Gross.
So yeah, this guy likes to eat a lot, just like iguanas last week. And that was Warwolf. All in all, I was expecting something a lot different from a character with that name. What we got? Well, the best I can say is the figure looks nice, I guess. But everything about it and the character is lazy and or wrong. Without bragging, I can say more effort went into this video than what Hasbro put into Warwolf. Disappointing.
But we've got one more manimal to go. Join me next time, mere mortals, as we take a look at the third mutant alien from outer space. And, do that whole like, share, and subscribe thing.